Today I'm back with a video with Alejandro. Obviously he is not here with me, but you lot will see both of our predictions as he's going to be sending me a video of his predictions, and how we're going to go do it is going to go all the way from 20th to 18th, and then he'll send me his, and then we'll cut back and forth and you'll see both of our predictions for this season in the Premier League. And obviously this is coming out, I believe, the week before the Premier League begins, as a final prediction. And Alejandro wanted to do one as he is a Crystal Palace fan, so let us do it. But before we get into it, leave a like and subscribe. We're to 260 now, because we recently hit 250. I'm gassed. And then let's get into it. Starting off with relegation. Who is getting relegated this season? Ooh-wee. That is a good question. I'm going to go with Wolverhampton, because they have gone downhill massively. I'm also going to go with... what other club should I go with? I'm going to go with... I'm going to go with Wolverhampton, because they have obviously lost a few good players. And they haven't really been that good this season. I'm going to go with Everton, because they're always a yo-yo. They're always like dangling at the bottom of the Premier League table, so I wouldn't be surprised if they end up getting relegated next season. And then 18th, I'm going to go with AFC Bournemouth. I think is the team I see getting relegated next season, mainly because I think they just got promoted, if I'm not wrong. I know I am wrong, so wait, am I? No, they've been in the Prem 4 time. Actually, no. You know what? Bournemouth, I'm going to give some credit. I won't say they get relegated yet. I'm going to put Sheffield United. And I think these are the three teams that will get relegated this season. Now, let's cut to Alejandro for him to do his prediction.
Hello, Alex. Tomorrow, we're making a video on the Premier League predictions. I've got my predictions in this book there. And in the relegation spot, I have picked Wolves, Sheffield United and Everton to go down. Mainly Wolves, they've lost their best players. They've only focused on youth this season. Sheffield United, based on the lack of funds they've made, and yeah, that's really. Everton, they've been scrapping relegation in the last couple years. I don't think they're going to survive this time. So yeah, I just think these few teams are going to go down.
Thank you, Alejandro, for your predictions. Now let's do 17th, 16th and 15th in who we think who will barely survive. I'm going to go with AFC Bournemouth. I obviously almost got them as relegated last season. I'm going to go Luton Town 17th. AFC, because Luton Town just recently got promoted. And I don't like Luton Town, but I feel like they'll all stay in the stadium, stay in this season. And I think their stadium is horrific, but we'll see what happens. We'll go Bournemouth 16th, and then I actually got rid of it again. What am I doing? And then at 15th, I'm going to go with... Who do I go? You know what? I'm going to go with... I'm going to go Burnley. Bloody Burnley. I'm going to go Burnley as well. I'm going to think... Even though I like Vincent Kompany, I think he will do good as a Burnley manager, but I don't know how he will do in the Prem. Obviously, they did top the Championship season, but we'll see how they do in the Prem. I think they'll do decently well. Obviously, I don't hate Burnley a lot, but I feel like they'll do alright. Now, let's cut to Alejandro, where he will do 17th, 16th and 15th.
17th place, I have got Bournemouth. I think they're going to survive on the last day of the season. Because, it's just Bournemouth and they always find a way. In 16th, controversial one, is Luton Town. I think they're going to survive comfortably. 38 points. People will be scared to come to the Kenny next season, and Haaland walking through that and the way to get up the away stairs is going to scare a few players, so I think they're going to do well. Home form is going to be up there. In 15th, I've got Nottingham Forest. I put them one place higher from last season, so not really much to be said there. But yeah.
Alright. So we did fit. So we're gonna move on to 14th place. 14th. I'm going to put. I'm gonna put Fulham. Actually, wait. Let me look at the options. Nottingham Forest. Yeah, I'm gonna probably put Fulham because I think they're just an average team. I don't think they'll do that well, but I don't think they'll do that bad either. 13th, I'll put 13th, I'll put Brentford. I think they're also just an average team in general. 12th, I'm going to put Nottingham Forest. Also, because they did actually kind of decent last season. Obviously, they're not the greatest team in the Premier League, but they're also not the worst team. And they're like Brentford and not Brentford and Brighton. They're like Brentford and Fulham. They're too decent. They're just average teams in general. But let's cut to Alejandro where he will do his predictions.
But West Ham 14th, mainly because I just don't think they'll do very well. But they've won the Conference League, so they're in the Europa League. I can see them got a lot of money, but I don't think they've made any signings. Hold me on that, because I don't know. 13th, I've got Vincent Kompany's Burnley, because I think Kompany will take orders from Pep, and he'll use his tactics to hopefully put Burnley 13th, maybe even higher, as the Premier League goes on. In 12th, I have Fulham. They did very well starting off the season. I think they're going to fall off quite a bit. I think they've lost Mitrovic, I can't lie. And they've brought in Raul Jimenez. He's not the best striker, but he can do a job. Anyway,
moving on to 11th place is going to be your team, Alejandro, Crystal Palace. I think that is a fair answer because Crystal Palace is doing well. Obviously, I don't know who their manager is at the moment. Is it Roy Hodgson or I think it's Roy Hodgson or a manager, I don't know. But I feel like they'll do decent. Obviously, they did lose. The only downside for Crystal Palace is they did lose their best one of their best players, Wilfried Zaha. But we can see how well they function without him. And hopefully they put a decent performance. And I feel like they'll end up 11th. I think 11th is a fair result for them. 10th, and we're going halfway up the table to the top half, entering the top half. I'm going to go with Brighton. I think Brighton, obviously, in the past, they have lost some great players, some great potential players like, obviously, Cucurella, Cucurella and like other players, but since then they have done really well, and I believe they will do well. I think 10th is a fair place for them, and I see them probably getting it. Obviously, they did lose Trossard as well, very banging player, but I think 10th is a fair place for them. 9th place is going to be... who should we put? 9th, I'm going to put Aston Villa. Obviously, never write off Unai Emery as a manager, because he is one of Spain's great managers, and obviously they have some good players this season, and hopefully last season they did very well. Hopefully, once again, I'll see them in 9th. So Alejandro, we'll cut to you to do your 12th, 11th, 10th and 9th place in your Premier League prediction.
11th place, I've got Brentford. I would have put them higher in the table, but the fact is they lost Tony till January, and I think it'd be a little bit too late for them to Tony to fit back into the team by the time the season starts. In 10th, I've got Crystal Palace. I don't know why. I just think we're going to finish 10th as a Palace fan. We've got Jefferson Lerma and Matthias Frankfurt coming in the squad at the moment. In 9th, it's a bit of a controversial one. It's probably the worst prediction of the video. Up at Spurs. Yeah. Rumours, Harry Kane leaving, maybe even Son, depending who they sign. You cannot have Hugo Lloris in goal and expect him to play well. It's just not going to work out for you. But yeah.
Moving on to 8th place, I believe. Yep, 8th place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 8th. Sorry, it's taking me ages to count. 8th place, I'm going to put West Ham. I don't think they'll end up in Europe. Wait, actually, is Europe? Yeah, it is Europe. No, not in Europe. I don't believe they will end up in Europe next season, and here's why. Obviously, they lost Declan Rice. The main connection, the main player that connects all the players together, Declan Rice, obviously is gone to Arsenal. And I believe because of that, that will be a major loss for West Ham. And because of that, they will go 8th and not make it to Europe, even though they did win the Conference League. But once again, I think they will do well, but they won't make it to Europe next season. Moving on to 7th place, I'm going to go with, who's ending up in the Europa Conference, I'm going to put Newcastle. I honestly believe Newcastle will end up in the Europa Conference League because obviously they do have a lot of money, and even though they did lose St. Maximin, they still got banging players. So 7th will be Newcastle United. Now I'll do the 6th and 5th spot, who will end up in the Europa League next season. 2 clubs I think will end up there will be Chelsea at 6th. Obviously, they are going to be under Pochettino, but Pochettino could have a masterclass. He did well for basically all clubs that, apart from... Well, actually, no, he did do good at every club he has been at. So, actually, I don't know. Pochettino's a really good manager. Do they make it top 4? I don't know if they'll make it top 4 next season. Man United's... I don't know how they'll do either. I think 5th and 6th is going to be between Manchester United, Chelsea and Tottenham Hotspur. I think Tottenham is a guaranteed one. I think they won't make it in the Europa League. I think they're going to be in the Europa League. Here's why. Harry Kane could leave to Bayern. Son could leave probably to Saudi Arabia. Hugo Lloris is getting old. I think Tottenham could have a little fall off. And I believe that they will end up 6th. I just believe that. Number 5th, at 5th, I think, would it be Chelsea or United? I think I'm just going to go Chelsea at 5th, mainly because considering how bad they did last season, I think that is a fair prediction to make, Chelsea being 5th in the Prem. And now, Ali, let's cut to your prediction to see who you put 7th, 6th and 5th in the Premier League prediction.
7th, get a European spot, I believe. Yeah. Is Aston Villa. I just think they're going to play really well. I think that's a poor prediction from me, but that's what I believe. They've got some really good generated talent coming in the squad there. I think it's going to look good with likes of Diaby. Who else has joined them? Yuri Tielemans. But you could have said them against Spurs, to be fair. Anyway, my 6th place, getting Europa League, is Manchester United. I don't know why I put them there. I just think they're not going to play very well. My 5th spot is Arsenal. I just think they're going to slowly graduate into a boring rubbish team like they've always been over the last couple of years. But yeah, in my top...
Right, now we're on to the top 4. Who will get Champions League and who will be the Premier League winner for next season? Starting off with 4th, I think it's kind of obvious. Man United will be 4th. I think they are not good enough to end in... I don't think they have it to win the league. Obviously, they did sign Mason Mount and the BTEC Haaland, but I don't think they are good overall. If you want any evidence, pre-season didn't really show that good of Arsenal. I think, obviously, they lost. I mean, they beat them, but then obviously lost to Real Madrid. And Real Madrid don't have a striker, so I think Man United will probably get 4th this season. 3rd, I'm going to go with a rogue shout. I'm going to go with... No, you know what? No, screw it. We're going to go Liverpool 3rd, because I think that's fair. Fair prediction to put Liverpool 3rd, because of the fact Liverpool, obviously, they have lost actually a lot of players this season to go Saudi Arabia. Like, they lost Fabinho, they lost Milner, I think, retired. They lost Henderson. They lost a lot of players this season, which is obviously not good for them, and I don't really know any signings they have made to replace the players they lost, but I think because of that, Liverpool will end up third. Second place will be Arsenal. I'd like them to win the league, but I don't see them doing it. Obviously, they did signing wise. They did sign. Who's he called? Sorry, Declan Rice. Very strong CDM. Very strong midfielder, and they have a chance to do really well this season. And Mikel Arteta, you never know. Obviously, they're in the Champions League next season. Let's see how well they do. But first, we have to go with, obviously, the winners of last season and the last few years, Manchester City. You cannot beat Pep Ball. Haaland's going to carry on scoring. De Bruyne's going to carry on making assists. They might even get Rafinha because they already lost Mahrez. They're just getting better. I think Man City, Pep Ball, unless somehow Haaland gets injured, De Bruyne starts playing awful, I don't see a reason why they are not going to win the league again. And anyway, obviously, those are my predictions. Alejandro, I'll cart it to you for you to do your final predictions for the top 4. And before we get into this, thank you, Alejandro, for featuring in today's video. And guys, leave a like, subscribe, word to 250, and let's cart it to Alejandro to end off the video.
4. I've gone with Newcastle because of the Saudi money. They have lost, though. And as I might remember, they've replaced him with Harvey Barnes, I believe. Yeah, they have. And yeah, I think it's just a great squad. Tonali coming in. They've done very well in pre-season. Third, you can see something against Chelsea. They spent the money. They spent it well. They've sold a lot of players, but they've brought in youngsters and brilliant talent. They've actually won their pre-season tournament. So yeah, I think they're going to have a very good season. Maybe even contenders for the league. Second, I don't know why, but I put Liverpool. I don't think they're going to finish there, but that's just where I think. Jota, Salah, Trent swapping into centre mid, Alisson, Van Dijk. You know, there's a really good guaranteed squad there. I think it's going to play very well. And obviously, top, as always, Manchester City. They've got the money. They've signed a lot of players, I'm pretty sure. Haaland's going to be up there. Got him in the fancy, actually. And yeah, that's my Premier League predictions for this season. Alex, I wish you all the best with your predictions, and I will see you soon. Bye, lads.